Hello everyone and welcome to another Gran Turismo Sport daily race. We're here at Fuji. Yes, it's Fuji week. Fuji week on the channel because, as you know, Fuji is my worst track in Gran Turismo Sport. I've always hated it, especially because of Sector 3 where they just ran out of tarmac and had to create a million corners with no apexes. Everything is blind. There's no turning references. Like, oh, Sector 3 at Fuji, don't like it. Until this race. This race changed everything for Fuji for me, so I hope you're going to enjoy it. It's an absolutely cracking race, and in this race I went full Lando Norris. I went full Lando. Now you should never go full Lando. You can go a bit Lando, be a bit partial Lando, but never go full Lando. So I'm going to show you what happened exactly when I went full Lando. But we're starting here in P2, which is amazing really, because this is my worst track in Gran Turismo Sport. And do let me know in the comments, what are your bogey tracks in GT Sport? Because I'm sure everyone has a bogey track. Mine are definitely Fuji and probably Dragon Trail Gardens too. My favourite tracks being Monza and Dragon Trail Seaside. But yeah, Fuji just... Anyway, until this race, I finally started to understand. I opened my eyes. I looked past my prejudices about this weird corner here where you don't hit the apex and you run all over the outside of the curb. It's something you would never really do in karting because your back would disintegrate. But anyway, enough of my rambling. We're in P2 here behind a depth-side man all the way from South Africa. And what's going to happen here on the straight, he looks to go a little bit defensive. And he might be worried now that I'm going to go up the inside, but we're not. We're going to bump draft him. And the drivers behind, not sure whether they're on the soft or the mediums, although if we look at the radar, it looks like there's a little bit of a split appearing, so we just might have really good pace, us two. And the drivers behind, including this Spaniard Maximus and Hecht Garin, they might be on the soft tyre but just battling. That could be what's happening. I think there was a big battle at turn 1 if I remember. As we make a little bit of contact there with the Debt Cyberman. There is a little bit of lag and I tend to go quite deep into that corner, so I've got to bear that in mind so we don't absolutely yeet him into next week. Now we skipped ahead at quite a few laps. We're going to get to the meat of the race in this video. Zero fat for you here on this channel. Straight to the premium content. Lap 6, which is a lap you should pit for tyres. Whether you're starting on the softs or the medium, lap 6 is the crossover point, is the optimal time to change. So we go a little bit deep here. I'm just about to get it in. So we've got past step side. I'm actually dropping him now from the slip. Although we had a little bit of a bad exit there. So we've got good pace on the depths. And if we just box now, put on a new set of boots, hopefully we can crack on. Don't know why that Fuji week graphic came on. That was random, a little bit spooky, but there we go. Another reminder. But if we put a new set of medium tyres on, hopefully can extend this lead and just disappear into the sunset, because we've absolutely dropped Sideman there. 1 second ahead, but meant to pit this lap. And I don't come in. And you can see behind, Cyberman is going into our pit, so our rival is pitted, and we've stayed out.
Some cars are pitting Inter. Bottas has gone already.
We're going to crack on here. We're going to keep going. Now, so the tyres are going to be suboptimal for the softs, but if we feel like we've got the grip, and we feel like we're in clean air, we're not going to drop back into the midfield here. That's the danger when you do this strategy. You can drop into the midfield for anyone else that's going long.
Track very slippery from here to turn 10. Lots of cars going off.
Yeah, shut up!
So I was recording while I was doing this race. I just thought I'd drop in some of the live recordings there. And we're still roughly hitting the apex. There's nothing too bad. We'll get a split later on. I think it was okay. So going around again, zoom forward. This is the end of lap 7. Again, we should pit. We should definitely pit.
Lando, what do you think about it, Inter? What do you think about it in Inter?
No!
But decide not to pit. And if we look behind, is anyone else going to stay out with us? Let's see. Look at the radar top right. No. Spaniard pits. The Brit pits. And with...
Okay, Lando, Hamilton has taken it. He's gone to an Inter.
Yes, I seen. We just got to commit to staying.
2 secs. But yeah, that's exactly it. We have to commit now. So the gap to a depth is 20 seconds. He's on a much fresher tyre. Can we maintain that gap and get the benefit out of a much fresher soft tyre at the end of the race? So lap 8 out of 12, Strategy really coming to the fore. We've gone properly Lando here. We've gone 2 laps extra. And you can see there is an apex there on the left, I can assure you, although it went off screen. We were so wide. And looking at that gap to a depth, obviously 20 seconds behind, so he won't see that reduce until he hits the point on the track where we were, which is going to do very, very shortly. You can see.
Okay, Lando, just to confirm, we have to be able to stay on track here. Are you happy to stay out on this tyre?
So the gap now is very close to 19 seconds, and this sector 3 is the most punishing on worn tyres. At the moment, I'm pretty happy with that gap, it has to be said. Ooh, can't quite hit the apex. Still keep... Oh, and a big slide. Huge swaz. So we've lost all the grip now. We need to come in this lap. No more shenanigans. Need to come in. That gap to a depth Cyberman is definitely going to drop, I think, another second at least as he goes through the last sector.
I got a box. I'm going to shut.
Yeah, we're going to come in.
I can't do this.
We're going to come in. We're going to box. Okay, Lando, we're boxing this lap. Pit lane very slippery.
Yes, box.
Yeah, I need silver D9.
Yes, confirm.
I need silver D9 before you come to a stop.
It's an absolutely critical moment now. So the gap was 19 seconds, so we lost a couple of seconds. Are we going to get out ahead of a depth Cyberman, or has he done the undercut? You would expect him to have done the undercut, but we're going to have 2 laps fresher soft tyres at the end. 2 laps fresher. Let's see what's going to happen here on pit exit. There he is. There he is. Can we defend there? We can't defend. We have to concede the position. But we do slot in right behind, and we see the Spaniard behind. Maximus, 3.5 seconds behind, 3.3 now. And a Frenchman, if only people. I'm not sure where he's popped up from. He might have been someone that started on the medium tyre and who's now on the fresh softs. So I was saying earlier we're going to be on fresh softs again. We're going to be on fresher mediums, I should have said. And let's see how this is going to work out. Really important now to pay attention to Adept Cyberman's driving lines. Is he struggling anywhere? Is he having to be much more gentler, laying down the power? Is he missing apexes? We will see in the mystery of Sector 3. If you look at the radar on the top right, the whole field is fairly condensed, actually. Pretty good field here. Everyone's basically on this straight now we speak. It's pretty much a straight because you're flat. And it's going to be 3 laps to go when we go over the start-finish line. Pretty tense now. Look at the gap behind. How has that happened? Maximus, 2.3 seconds. Was he on the medium tyre earlier? How has he closed that gap? Because I don't feel like we're driving that badly. Wow, it's going to be less than 2 seconds soon. So a bit of a decision here. Do we work with the depth? Do we fight with the depth? Is this going to be a 3-way fight for the lead? Do we want to try and shore up 1 and 2 for both of us? Let's see. Absolutely cracking racing. It is a great combo at Fuji. And I'll be very honest with you. This is the first time I'd actually really enjoyed Fuji and Gran Turismo Sport. Finally kind of come to terms with the track and now can really enjoy the racing. Are we going to try and go around the outside here? I'm looking over my microphone to try and see, look at the radar. We just about get there. We leave each other space. Am I going to get the run out? It looks like I am. I'm going to have the inside into turn 2. Not going to squeeze all the way across it because there's a driver on the outside. I've got to give him the space. That's going to compromise my entry. I can't be as fast as usual. And you can see now Adept really catching up. Try and look at the radar for the Spaniard. I think the Spaniard is really close. I think the Spaniard is on soft tyres. I think he is a driver to watch right now. Can we hit this apex? Yes, we can. Sacrifice speed. Ooh, there we go. He's close. So it is going to be a 3-way fight for the lead, I'm sure, in the last 2 laps. Where do you think I'm going to finish, viewers? You can play along at home. 1, 2 or 3. I really hope I'll win this race. Obviously, I went longer on the soft tyres, so my tyres should be very fresh right now. My tyres should be much fresher than the depths. But the Spaniard is an unknown quantity, because the Spaniard also went late. He went 1 lap later than the depth. So if he was able to do that on a medium tyre, he's done an absolute masterclass. But let's see. As we go around the last corner, we are going to be giving slip to the drivers behind. And yeah, it's going to be a fast and frantic last 2 laps, I can assure you. If you are enjoying this video, please do feel free to destroy that like button. And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. It would be great to have you on board. It'd be lovely to have you. I go very defensive here, all the way to the wall. To the window, to the wall, as they say. I won't say the rest, because it's not Need for Speed Underground 2. And oh, go a little bit deep. And I stay off throttle here because I feel like I need to give that place back to a depth. That wasn't intentional, but we did make contact, so I've given the position back. Suboptimal. Now we're following him and we're at the risk of the Spaniard. Again, I have to brake a little bit earlier because I don't want to make contact. The depth does lag a little bit. He is driving from South Africa. That's something we have to bear in mind. So I'm in the middle of a South African and Spanish sandwich. No, I'm not. I'm out at the bottom of the sandwich. I've fallen out of the bread. And the Spaniard here in the GTR. Wow, brave choice. Brave choice, sir. And we're going to go side by side. If we fight too much, we'll let a depth get away. So lots of meta strategy here. Depth goes a little bit deep. Side by side for us two now. What's going to happen? I've got to back out. Yeah, I have to back out here. Otherwise, I'm going to die. Or we'll both die. And but I'm going to take the position back here. Wow, okay. I'm feeling aggressive today. Nice. We'll claim this. We're out of the slip at the moment. This is not ideal. The depth takes a really nice wide line through there, which means you can get the power nice and early. What will he do for the last corner? Again, nice and wide. He's not worried about me making an old dive bomb. Are we going to be in the slip? Can we get a good exit? Are we going to get bump drafted? So many variables here. And we don't get a particularly good exit. But now the RCZ starts to pull. And we're just in the slip here for the last lap. The gap is going to be under 7/10. We are going to be closing. And again, if you look at the radar on the top right, the whole field, all 18 cars are going to be on this straight. Congratulations to Split, that is great to see. Don't know why I kind of shaped for an overtake there. It was never ever going to happen. You see the brake disc glowing in the F-Type ahead. No brake degradation in GT Sport, but that would be cool to see in GT7. Hint, hint. As we go blue there, and we're close now, we're close. And I'm feeling good. Our tyres are good. Our tyres are better than the depths. And if Maximus is on the soft tyres, then his tyres will, although inherently faster and grippier, will have more grip. We go for a lunge here. Go for the inside. Depth shuts the door. Okay. This is it. This is the end game. Gonna have a nice run here. What's the Spaniard gonna do? Gonna go up the inside. The Spaniard's already there. A little bit of side, so I can't go up the inside. Big moment in the race. If I had the opportunity there, I would have been all up the inside. Oh, contact! Adept is going sideways. Contact with the Spaniard here. Last two corners now, just sector 3 to navigate before we cast this race into the fires at Mount Doom. That analogy made no sense. Am I going to go up the inside here? Yes, try again. There's a little bit of contact again. Oh, and I get pumped from behind. I've got to get the position back slowly off the throttle. Give the position back. Can we go up the inside? I showed to go up the inside. Here we go. Oh, we just take first place on the last corner. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? Now here, I'm a little bit naughty. I'm squeezing now. I was speaking about this with some mates earlier in the day about Mazepin doing this to Tsunoda. We're going to take the win. I forgot I won this race, actually. So if you guess I won this, congratulations, you win in the Imagine. Ah, the Spaniard had a 1-minute penalty anyway. The Spaniard did 2 stints in the softs. That explains why he was so fast. Okay, but irrespective of the Spaniard getting the 1-minute penalty, what do you think about my move at the end? Because it's one of these moves that I actually always thought that move is not okay. If someone did that to me in karting, I'd be very annoyed about it. But we were speaking about Mazepin doing this to Tsunoda in Sochi, and ultimately, you know, I haven't squeezed anyone out. I've just denied them space. So, oh, I don't know. It's a tough one for me. But there we go. Taking a victory. My 77th win in car number 7. So the 777, which I think is a good luck in gambling, if you're a gambler. But yeah, there we go. I really hope you enjoyed that race. It's so good for me to be back making videos. My voice is getting better. I can speak now without coughing up my entire insides, which is very, very nice. Much appreciated. And the times that I couldn't make videos on stream made me really appreciate how much I enjoy doing this and how lucky I am. So thank you so much everyone who's watching. Thank you so much everyone who's liked, subscribed, shared. Some people share the videos, which is very cool. Thank you so much for doing that. I am going to cough now. I'm not getting emotional, I promise you. Maybe a little bit emotional, my 77th win. But yeah, I'll see you all next time.